Good morning, students. Today we are going to discuss on the information security, the last part, which is part 3. In this part, we are going to discuss on certain important terms and terminologies that are commonly used and some techniques that are used to provide security to the information in the information system. First, we are going to discuss about something called backup. The first one which we are going to see is called backup. What is backup? It is nothing but a backup is nothing but storing the information in a place to store it in case if there is any issue with the data that you have in your own original server, you can still go back and retrieve your data. It is actually there should be a backup plan in any organization. If you don't have a backup plan, if a hacker is going to hack your system, all the data is lost and you cannot restart your system very properly because you don't know what was the last status of the data in the information system. So it is very essential to have a comprehensive backup plan for every organization in order to ensure that you can actually safeguard your data. That's the most important point that you have to first know about it. Now we are trying to do the backup. The backup is done daily. Almost daily all the network administrators do their backup of data. What is backup? They are going to store the data in an extra copy in another place. Maybe they can store it in a cloud storage, or they may be storing in another server or in another location, so that if the data is being lost due to any vulnerabilities or danger, still they will be able to restore the data with what they have and in the last day, and then the system can restart without any issues. The servers, corporate servers are always backed up. For example, if you look at our university, every day the data is backed up, so that in case of any failure, still the data will be intact, because we don't want to lose the data about the student grades, we don't want to lose the data about the student fees, anything that is there, it should be intact. So it is always important to do backup. Backup is nothing but a method to store the data in extra one more place, so that you are able to restore your computer system if in case of any attack or vulnerabilities that is going to happen. It is not only going to happen for the server. The data backup is not only going to happen for the server, it is also for the individual computers. Like for example, most of the people will be using an external hard disk to store the information in their computer, so that in case if the computer hard disk crashes, still they can be able to retrieve the data from the external hard disk and use it for future use. Okay, it is also data backup is a copy of the computer data taken and stored elsewhere, so that it may be used to restore the original data after a data loss event. That's what I told you already. If the data is lost, still you have another copy from where you can actually load the data into your system, and you can actually avoid any loss of data that will happen in your system. Periodic backup of the data is very, very important. Okay, on portable devices, remote locations, or cloud storage, because you can either store it in a portable device or in another location, or maybe in a cloud storage. There are many ways where you can have an extra copy of the data. You can store it in a cloud storage, or you can store it in a portable device, or you can store it in a remote location. There are many options, but it should be done periodically. Normally, for example, if you look at the data like banking data, university data, and wherever there is a transaction every day, they will try to do the backup at the end of every day. Business transactions is over, they will make a backup, so that the next day when they start the computer, if there is any vulnerability that happened with the system, still they will be able to recover the data and start the information system in its original form. So proper backup can help to recover and start functioning even after natural disaster. Don't only think about vulnerability and danger is nothing only about just the hacker attack. For example, if there is a fire in a building where the data is stored, still you have another copy of the data, and you can start your functioning after 1 or 2 days. So this is very, very important in most of the backup procedures that has to be followed. So whenever you are going to talk about backup, please remember, backup is what? It is a procedure which is followed by many organizations to store a copy of the data in the information system in a remote location or in a cloud storage or in another portable device, so that there exists a copy, the latest copy of the information and information system. In case of any theft or any data distraction happens, either due to the information security threat or due to natural disaster, still the data can be brought back to the original form and the information system can be put into use. So I hope this is clear for you now. Let's go to the next one. What are the common risks to the information system? The first one is unauthorized access. I already told you, if somebody is trying to hack your system by breaking your password, then it is called an unauthorized access. Like for example, you give your password to somebody and they are actually accessing your system, which they are not supposed to do. That's called unauthorized access. Number two, there is something called hacking. Hacking is very commonly known to you. Hacking is nothing but people enter into the system and they try to hack and try to know your information. This is called hacking. Hacking is common even in big servers like Yahoo, Facebook, YouTube. In all this one, you can see that this is very commonly happening. So the next one is malware. What is malware? We are going to study about malware in a detailed way in the next slide. But malware is nothing but a program which is loaded into the computer without the knowledge of the user in order to steal or spy the user who is using the computer. That is called malware. And last one is natural or man-made disaster. As I told you, you have a server in a building. If there is a fire and the server is completely burnt, it's a natural or a man-made disaster. Or maybe there is a big cyclone, all the server data is lost because the water enters into the building. So that's a natural disaster. Even in this type of things, the data that is stored in the information system can be completely lost. So these are some of the risks that can happen to the information systems data, and the security of the information system can be challenged. Let's go to the next part, which I told you, malware. Now we are going to discuss about malware. It is commonly known as malicious software. Means it's a computer program which is actually known as malware that brings harm to the computer system. It's a computer program, but what is the purpose of this computer program? To bring harm to the data and the information in the computer system. There are three types of malware available. Number one, virus. Number two, worms. Number three, Trojan horse. Number one, virus. Number two, worms. And number three, Trojan horse. So these are the three commonly available malware in the market. What is this one? I told you already. This software gets loaded into the system and tries to do the data, steal the data privacy or information without the knowledge of the user. He will not know that this program is a spyware or a malware. He will install it. So that's why when you are going to install any new program or any new app in your computer or in your telephone, you have to make sure that this app is reliable, it is genuine, and it can be used. If you are not going to do that one, what's going to happen is that you are going to have a severe risk with your security of your information in your computer. So this is why now you have to understand there are three things. Now we are going to discuss on these three types of softwares. Now we are going to discuss on it in a very clear way. Let us see this one. What is a virus? It is a malware. You know that it's a malware. It is capable of copying itself and spreading to another computers. So once it gets loaded into one computer, if you are connected in a network of computers, it will automatically copy to another computer by attaching themselves to various programs and executing code when a user launches one of this infected program. Like for example, it can be passed through email attachments. Sometimes you can get the virus program in the form of email attachment. People click on it, it gets activated without your knowledge. Worms are independent computer programs. They copy themselves from one computer to another computer over a network. It's also a virus type, but it is independent computer program, copy themselves from one computer to another computer through network. The next one is called Trojan horses. It is a type of harmful software. It is often disguised as a useful software. This is where the danger is more. Sometimes you think this, you have many apps. Oh, this app is very good. This app is very good. This program is so good. But these programs are given not to help you, but they are disguised as a useful software. Disguised means they are told to you that they are very good softwares, but actually they are employed by hackers to gain access to users' systems. Users are typically tricked by some form of social engineering into loading. Once activated, see, I will tell you what is it. For example, if a Trojan horse is going to be there in your computer, for example, it's a program. Okay, remember, it's not a physical device. It's a program which is loaded. You will type the keyboard. You will type in the keyboard. Your keyboard recorder, your keyboard strokes will be recorded and sent to the hacker. You will switch on your camera. Whatever you are going to see in the camera, you are sitting in front of the camera. Even you do not know the camera is switched on, but it will be on. There will be no light on. So this is another technique. So there are many things. Similarly, when you are in a meeting, they can switch on your microphone of your computer and they can overhear what is being discussed in the meeting. So these are actually some of the three different types of malicious software or malware which is commonly used in many computers. Number one, virus. Number two, worms. And number three, Trojan horse. I think it is clear for you. Please remember these names and just remember these small definitions about them so that you will be able to answer it if it comes in an examination question. Okay. Now we are going to the next one, hacker. Who is a hacker? Hacker, programmer. Programmer is a person who can program the computer programming to develop systems. Hacker is also a programmer, but he uses computers to gain unauthorized access. What is his main job? He wants to gain unauthorized. He doesn't have any authorization to use the computer or the system. He tries to get unauthorized access to data. They create intentionally, their idea is to create havoc or damage to the system. They want to either create fear or they want to damage the data in the computer system. So this is the problem with hackers. Okay, there is no ethics with the hackers. They don't worry about destroying other people's data. They want to just remove the data and create issues for other people. The next one is how to avoid all these problems. I told you there are three types of malicious software. One is virus. So we have to have antivirus program. So the antivirus program, for example, you can see that in our university we are using Kaspersky. McAfee is another company. Norton, AVG, Avira, North32, F-Secure. So many companies are giving antivirus programs. So if you are going to install this antivirus program, it will detect and remove the software. If they find that any malicious software is there in the computer, it will automatically, or even in a mobile phone, if it is going to find it, it will just intimate to you there is a malicious software. We want to remove this threat from your computer. So it is very, very important for every user in the information security as a part of the procedure in your mobile phone, in your personal computer, to have an antivirus program. So it is primarily designed against viruses or now protect other types of malwares such as worms and Trojan. For example, if you are going to look at, look at my computer. Now I do not know, you can see here my computer is protected. I have got Kaspersky Internet Security. See now, my computer database, the antivirus information is updated, and there are no risks. My computer is protected, and there is 75 days license. You have to pay some money, but still it is always good to have this type of things. If you doubt something, you can do what? Scanning. You can do scanning to check if there are any viruses or not. So this is one thing that you have to know. See, I am using what? Kaspersky. Can you see the Kaspersky? This is the brand which I am using, because in Oman most of the companies are using Kaspersky. Now let's go to the next one. The next one is about firewall. This is very, very important to know. Our university has also got firewall. What is firewall? It is a combination of hardware and software that prevents unauthorized users from accessing private network. What is a private network? Dhofar University's network is a private network. If somebody is trying to enter into the system, there is a way to stop this one by using a combination of two things. There is also a program and there is also a hardware. Okay. Now you can see that what is firewall. From internet many websites are coming. Many people are also sending the data in the firewall. It will filter unwanted things. So you can say that if you have any doubt about some websites, you can filter those websites using the firewall, so that your network is safe. So this is actually another way to protect and ensure that the security of the data is ensured in the information system. So now, my friends, we are coming to the last slide of this chapter. Every organization, wherever you are going to work, I know in the future you are going to work in many organizations. Remember that if you are working in any organization as a MIS graduate, you should always say that it is very important. You should always emphasize to your people in the organization to adapt policies, procedures and technical measures to prevent unauthorized access, alteration, theft or physical damage to the information system. Okay, this not only includes the data, it also includes to protect the hardware, software, data and network, because there are some malicious software which can also destroy the hardware components. There are some things which can corrupt the software. So this type of good practices related to information security is very, very essential to ensure the people have trust. As I told in the beginning, the three things to be achieved: confidentiality, integrity and availability can be easily achieved when you are going to work out with these tools, so that the vulnerabilities are not done, and also you come up with the information security policy to have a systematic approach. Periodically backup you have to do. All these things we have seen. Try to go through the slides. There are 25 slides in this chapter. I have made the videos in 3 parts. This is the last part which I am making now. So please look at the 3 videos. It will cover the entire chapter in a nutshell. And thank you for listening to my class. Inshallah, we will see about chapter 5 in our next video recording. Until then, stay safe. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.